Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain the different measurement bases. Measurement basis means at what value will you record an asset in SOFP? There are two measurement bases. One is historical cost and second is current cost. And this topic has been asked just two times in your examination, one as a theory question and the second one as a problem question, which is known as inflation accounting. So first we are going to look into the theoretical part of historical cost and current cost. So what exactly is historical cost? In historical cost, an asset is recognized at cost less depreciation. You know this because this is how we normally record an asset in SOFP, cost minus depreciation. The method is known as historical cost method. What are the advantages of this method? One, it is easy to understand and it does not change. What do you mean by it does not change? The cost does not change. Cost is same in every year. Of course, the depreciation will change, the carrying amount will change, but the cost is same every year. For example, if you bought an Apple iPhone by paying $1,000, if I ask you how much did you pay, you will say, sir, $1,000. If I ask you if we see next year, and if I ask you how much did you pay for this iPhone, will you say a different amount? No, you'll say, sir, I bought this phone 1 year ago and I paid $1,000. And let's say we are meeting 3 years later, and I'm asking this, how much did you pay for this iPhone? You will say, sir, 3 years ago when I bought this, I paid $1,000. So cost does not change. And the third advantage is that there is always an evidence for the cost. The amounts are reliable. Cost is reliable. Why is that? Because there is an evidence. What is the evidence? There is always a purchase invoice. For example, if an entity purchased a machine by paying a cost of $50,000, we can always ask them, where is the proof? Where is the proof of this machine cost is 50,000? They will produce a purchase invoice $50,000. So amounts are reliable because it is evidenced by a purchase transaction, and that can be always be verified by verifying the purchase invoice to confirm the cost. And since there is always a purchase invoice to confirm the cost, this method is very difficult to manipulate and it reduces creative accounting. What do you mean by creative accounting? Fraud. And this is widely used worldwide. But what is the disadvantage of this? Two disadvantage. One, value of asset in SOFP is not equal to the economic benefit that you get from the asset, and holding gains are not separated. What is this? What do you mean by it is not equal to economic benefit from the asset? What do you mean by holding gain? Let me explain this with the help of a good example that we can discuss with respect to Kaplan School of Accountancy and Management. Kaplan School of Accountancy and Management changed their furnitures around 2 years ago to accommodate more number of students. And they bought bench and desk, which can accommodate around 100 students. And the cost they paid to make this bench and desk to accommodate 100 students was just rupees 300,000 INR, Indian National Rupee 300,000. Remember that figure. Kaplan School of Accountancy and Management paid 300,000 to manufacture bench and desk which can accommodate 100 students, and they bought this bench and desk 2 years ago. And if you are a student in Kaplan, you know that Kaplan School of Accountancy and Management offers almost all the papers in every ACCA exam sessions. That is, in March, June, September, December, Kaplan School of Accountancy and Management offers almost all the papers. So students will be sitting in this bench and desk. So 100 students, and you know the fees of Kaplan's is around 16,500 INR, Indian National Rupee. So 16,500 into 100, that means Kaplan's will get 1,650,000 from one batch. Likewise, in an year, there are 4 batches into 4. That means Kaplan's made 6,600,000 from this bench and desk. And Capens has been using this bench and desk for the last 2 years. So into two means within 2 years, Capens has made around 13,200,000 from this bench and desk. And how much did they pay? Just 300,000. At what value Capens will record this asset in Capens books? Let's say this asset can be used for 10 years. So cost is 300,000 minus depreciation 300,000 divided by 10. That will be 30,000. So Capens School of Accountancy and Management might have recorded this 100 bench and desk in its statement of financial position at cost less depreciation, that is historical cost, that is 300,000 minus 30,000, that is at 270,000. But is that 270,000 the value of this asset? Yes, but there's a small problem. Is that 270,000, is that the amount that Capens is generating from this asset? Definitely no. If Capens is going to use this asset like this for next 5 or 6 years, they will make millions and millions of rupees from this bench. So definitely it's not equal to the economic benefit that is being generated from the asset. The value of asset in SOFP is not based on the value of economic benefit that is generated from this asset. And holding gains are not separated. What do you mean by holding gain? Capens has made a money of 13,200,000 within 2 years of using this asset. And that is holding gain. And Capens have invested 300,000 to buy this asset. So 13 million minus 200, 13,200,000 minus 300, 12,900,000 is a holding gain. The economic benefit that you're generating from the asset minus the cost of the asset is known as holding gain. And you know that holding gains are not at all considered in historical cost accounting. And another disadvantage of historical cost accounting is that it does not consider inflation. Now, what is current value? Current value is basically valuing an asset in SOFP under fair value method or under value in use method or under current cost method. Current cost means replacement cost. And what do you mean by replacement cost? It means current purchase price. The problem that has been asked in your examination is based on current cost method, that is current purchase price method, that is replacement cost method. So remember, current cost means replacement cost means current purchase price. Remember that. You will need that to solve the problem that we'll be discussing later. Now, what are the advantages of current cost method? What is the advantage of recording an asset in SOFP under fair value model or value in use or under replacement cost or current purchase price? One, it provides relevant information that is based on the value right now in the market, either fair value or value in use or current purchase price. And it definitely considers inflation. The disadvantage is calculation of current value is very difficult and users will not understand current value. Fair value, if you have watched the previous video of IFRS 13, fair value measurement, there are different methods of valuing a asset. There is level 1 input, there is level 2 input, there is level 3 input, there is fair value based on principal market, fair value based on most advantageous market, fair value based on highest and best use, which have to be taken. And what exactly is fair value? What exactly is level 1, level 2, level 3, highest and best use, active market, principal market, most advantageous market? It is very difficult to calculate current value, as well as users will not understand the current value. And even if you are using value in use method, but it is present value of future cash flow, it is again based on future cash flow. It is a forecast, it's an estimate, it can go wrong. So calculation of current value is very difficult and users will not understand. And calculation of current value is very important because the next question which we'll be discussing is based on current cost method, replacement cost method. We will be discussing that problem quite soon. Which method should be used? Should we use historical cost method Or should we use current value method? It depends upon characteristics of asset or liability and the ways in which asset or liability generate the future economic benefits. And don't bother too much on that. Just remember these 2 points from an examination point of view. Don't think too much on this particular topic. You should be able to identify that 2 points. That's it. Now, the problem that was asked in your examination is to calculate carrying amount under historical cost and under current cost. This is a past question paper, and this question is also there in your ACCA Study Hub. And I have prepared another video known as inflation accounting, which solely deals with this particular question. And in that video, I have solved this question within 7 minutes. So please watch that video to know how to solve this question. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget to subscribe